In this video, we want to keep building our app, and we will do so by implementing this stats view, okay? And as you can see, here we have two card views, okay? And here for the first one, we have this quiz performance summary, and for this one, we have this time spent, okay? And here, if you pay attention, you can see that these two card views are similar, okay? They look the same. So it makes sense for us to use a reusable card view, okay? So once we have a reusable card view, we can actually simply add our content, okay? So for the sake of this video, we will only focus on the card view, okay? So with that said, let me put this guy here. And as we said, we want to focus on these stats, okay? So the first thing we can do, we can come back on this settings view, and here, instead of this text, what we want to do, we want to actually create a view, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. So if we come here, we want to come inside this settings folder, and what we want to do, we want to create a new file, and it's gonna to be a SwiftUI view. And for the name, we can call it stats view. We hit on create. And now what we can do, of course, we want to test it first. So here we can simply say hello world from stats view. And now what we want to do, we simply want to copy this and come on this settings view. And instead of this guy, we want to replace this with stats view, okay? And normally now, if we come here on this preview and we tap on this stats, as you can see, we have this hello from stats view, okay? So everything is working fine. So let's go ahead and go back on this view. And what we can actually do, we can close the other tabs and focus on this stats view, okay? So as we said, the first thing we want to do, we want to create a reusable view, okay? A reusable card view. So let's go ahead and do so. So here we want to create a new struct, and for the name, let's call it stats card view. And of course, it's gonna to return a view. And now inside this body, what we want, as you can see, we want a v stack, okay? Because we want this title first, and then this divider, and then we want our content, okay? So here, instead of this hello world, what we want to do, we want to create a vstack. And now inside of vstack, as we said, the first thing we want this title, okay? So here is going to be a text, and here we can simply put title, and now we can simply style a text, okay? And here what I will do, I will simply copy and paste what I have on the finish app. So here we have a font, we have this font weight, and we also have a padding, okay? So now after this text, what we want to do, so after this title, we want this divider, okay? So let's go ahead and add a divider. So here is going to be divider, and we also want to add a padding on this divider, and here is going to be an horizontal padding. Okay, perfect. And now after this divider, what we want the content of our card view, okay? But before we can go ahead, what I want us to do, I want us to have a preview of this guy, okay? So what we can do, we can simply copy this, and here we can remove this and paste our card view, okay? And normally we are supposed to see a preview, okay? And as you can see, everything is working fine, okay? And as we said, after this divider, what we want to add a content, okay? But right now we don't know exactly what our content is, okay? So before we can work on this content, what we can do, we can actually make this card view look like a finished app, okay? So what we can do, we can come here and add the background, and here the color we want the white color, okay? The next thing we can do, we can add the corner radius, and we want the corner radius of 10. Now what we can do, we can add the shadow, and here for the radius, we want a radius of 5, okay? And as you can see, we have a nice card view, okay? And here what I did, I added another shadow. So here can add another shadow, and now for this shadow, the color we want the gray color, okay? So here for the color, it's going to be that gray, and we want to play with this opacity, and we want an opacity of 0.5. And now for the radius, we want a radius of 10, and on the X axis, we want it to be 0, and on the Y axis, we want it to be 5, okay? Okay, perfect. So now that we have a card view, what we can do, we can actually focus on this content, okay? Because as we said, we want this content to be reusable, okay? So we want to be able to provide the content, okay? So whenever we create this card view, what we want to pass the content, okay? Because here, for example, we have this chart, okay? But here for this time span, we have a different content, okay? And we don't want to duplicate our code, okay? So that's the reason why we have this, okay? So now what we want to do, we want to be able to simply pass our content, okay? So how can we achieve this result? The best way to achieve this result is to pass this, okay, our content to this stats card view, okay? So yeah, that's what we are going to do. So yeah, what we want to do, we want to pass a content, okay? And our content, we want our content to be a view, okay? Because as I said before, almost everything in SwiftUI is a view, okay? And as you can see, the moment we add this, we have an error here, okay? So before fixing this error, let's go ahead and finish this. So as we said, every time we create this, we want to pass a content, okay? And now this content will be on tab content, okay? So now what we want to do, we want to say that when you initialize this view, okay, what we want a view builder, okay? So here, view builder, and for the name, we will call it content, okay? And we will simply return content, okay? And now for this content, we can simply initialize this with the content we've passed, okay? And now that we have this, what we are able to do now is simply to copy this and paste it here, okay? And now, normally, every time we create this stats card view, we have to pass a content, okay? And as you can see, here is asking us to pass a content, okay? So let's go ahead and fix this error. So if we hit on this fix, as you can see, it will ask us to provide this content, but we don't want this to be like this. So what we want to do, we simply want to provide this like this, okay? And now, if we provide the content, so let's say, for example, we want to provide this text, and yeah, we can simply say test, okay? And as you can see, because we pass this content now, as you can see, it will take this text, okay, and will come here and put it here, okay? So if I were to change this, for example, this location, so if I copy this or I cut it and I put it before a title, as you can see, it will place it before a title, okay? So this is a great way, okay, if you want to reuse your code, okay? And we can reuse it either on this view or inside another view, okay? So now that we have this reusable card view, it'll be easier for us to add this chart and also to add this, okay? So what we can do before finishing this video, we can simply add a padding here. So if we add this padding, just to make it look nicer, okay? Okay, with that said, that's the end of this video. In the next video, we will see how we can add this chart, okay? So take care and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.